Hey, what is going on there YouTube? This is the Game Guy, and today I'm bringing to a video going over the Fall Winter 19 lookbook. Now, unlike yesterday's video, which was a live stream in short, today I'm just going to be going through section by section and picking out the items I think, in my view, are the best items from the lookbook, obviously, per section. Now there might be one or two items, or there might be up to like 5, 6 or 7 items in a section, and yeah, it will just depend on pretty much how I view them. Obviously this is my opinion, so yeah, if there are any different ones or any other items or items that you don't really like, then just comment down below. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this. Now obviously this is the full lookbook, and this really does get me back into the mindset of being ready to live cop or cop items. Now there are a lot of items. There aren't as many, however, as in like Spring Summer 19 or Fall Winter 18. However, there are still quite a lot of items to go through and look at. Now personally, I did say this yesterday during the stream, but I did feel that a lot of the items were quite repetitive, and we've seen like different variations released before, and we've just got another variation of an item being released this season, which isn't a bad thing in some cases, but it does just give this repetition feeling going on. So let's go through each of the sections and just, yeah, I'll pick out each of the items that I feel are the best from those sections, which then obviously brings the summary to the best items from the lookbook. So first we are going to kick this off with jackets. The first one that I am picking from jackets is obviously the Team Varsity jacket. I personally felt that this item was really cool, and yeah, it's got a lot of detail to it. I've already got a Varsity that I'm happy with, but this definitely, like, if I didn't have my one, I'd definitely be picking this up because I think it is a really cool piece. The next one is going to be the shoulder logo track jacket. I personally just think this is a clean piece, and for a track jacket it's a little bit different. And yeah, that's why it's in this list. We then have the Macar zip-up jacket. I personally just felt like it was a cool design, and yeah, that is why I think it's one of the better items coming out of the jackets section. We also have the work vest to go with that. I believe the artwork is by the same person anyway, but this is the Hyder work vest. So yeah, again, I really like the design and the style, the same as the Macar one, and that is why I've picked it. Last piece I'm going to go with is the Supreme is Love denim work jacket. I personally just feel that it is a really nice piece. It is obviously just the album cover put onto a piece of clothing, but I just feel that it is a nice piece. There are a couple of others that come out of jackets that are nice, but overall I feel that a lot of the stuff is repetitive and some of it just doesn't come out as clean as it might look. There are a couple of other pieces within here that I think are nice, but overall I feel that those are the best ones for this section. Moving on to the shirts section now. For me personally, there are just 4 items coming out of this section, and it's really easy to just distinguish them from the others. The first is going to be the Martin Wong Supreme 8-ball range shirt. I really like the pieces coming from Martin Wong, and yeah, personally this is definitely one of them. I think that this should, at some point in time, maybe in the future, or even during the season, go up in price a lot when it is released, and yeah, that is why I've selected it. It is just a really clean piece, and I do like the artwork. The next one is obviously another piece by Martin Wong, which is the Secret World. And yeah, I do like this piece as well. It's obviously got the same 8-ball theme going on with it, but it is just a different design. And yeah, that is why I like it. Moving on, we have the Eyes Rain shirt. I really like this piece. The main colourway that I like this piece in, though, is the black colourway. I feel that it really emphasises on it, and it makes it stand out quite well. I don't know how other people feel about it, but in my view, I think it's just a really cool piece. The last piece is going to be by Rita Ackerman, and personally, I really do like this piece. More so in the white or the natural colourway than the black colourway, but yeah, I think it's a really clean piece, and it's just a shirt that deserves to be on the list. Next, we're moving on to tops/sweaters, of which there are 5 items from this section that I think are the best ones. The first is going to be the Supreme is Love sweater, the same as the work jacket. I just feel that this piece is nice, and definitely with the different colour choice that they have, it really does look quite clean. I still think that either the red or the black colourway are the best ones out of this though. We then have the flower velour baseball jersey. I really do like this piece. I don't know what its price is going to be, but I think that it's really clean and the flower design is really nice on it, and it doesn't really stand out too much. It doesn't have like massive vibrancy or anything. I just think it's a really cool piece. We then have the crossover hockey jersey. I'm a fan of hockey jerseys and I really do like this one. The colours are all over the place, which I like because they're very different, but they don't clash in like a terrible way like some of the pieces that they've released for this season do. Obviously it says Winter 19 on it, and yeah, I think that it's a really cool piece. We then have another Martin Wong piece, which is going to be the short sleeve top. It's going to be Ridge Street. Personally, I really do like this piece as well as the other pieces that are coming from this artist. And yeah, sort of like, I believe it's the putty tee or something from last season, or putty short sleeve top or something from last season. I feel like this piece can go up in value and do the same sort of numbers as that. And yeah, this is the piece that I was on about. It is the putty, or however you want to pronounce it, tee, and I feel that the other piece is going to do the same sort of thing as that. The last piece out of tops slash sweaters is going to be the scatter text crew neck. I personally just feel that it's a really cool piece, and yeah, definitely in the more vibrant and all over colourway, I think it is sick. It also makes me think of Google just because of the colourways, so that's something that I sort of link it to. Next we move on to sweatshirts, and yeah, there's obviously going to be a really obvious one from this section, but there are a couple of others that I really do like as well. So we're going to start off with another Martin Wong piece. This is going to be obviously the 8-ball hoodie, or 8-ball hooded sweatshirt. It gives me like a sort of feeling of the blood and, yeah, I won't finish the sentence, but it gives me feeling of that, and I think that it can do quite well in the future. We then have the 1-800 hooded sweatshirt. For some reason I just really like the graphic on the back of this piece, and that is why I've picked it. For obvious reasons, we've got the bandana box logo hoodie. Like, yeah, I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. It's just sick. The colorways I really do like. A lot of people didn't really like some of the colorways, but I personally feel that the blue slash teal or baby blue colorway, this light pink, grey, red and then navy are probably the best colorways out of it. I'd also then say obviously the black, but you want to keep people's attention away from some colorways when it does come to it releasing, because obviously they will go quite quickly. But yeah, for obvious reasons, the box logo. I've always been a fan of the bandana pieces. I know when they first released they were massively hated, and now obviously they're massively wanted and they're grails and things. I really do feel that it looks really nice, and having it as a box logo is a great idea. We've then got the mountain crew neck. I just really like it. There's nothing else to say about it, to be honest. I'm just a fan of the embroidered graphic. For the last two items that I've sort of selected, one of them is actually like a stolen graphic, which is the Doves hoodie. Yeah. Unfortunately, the graphic has been taken. Whether Supreme have licensed it or something is another thing, but it's literally like a one-for-one take. But still, I am a fan of the piece nevertheless. The last one is going to be the cop car graphic. I really do like this piece. I wish that they had put it on a tee or something and done sort of like the FTW tee that was released, I believe, for Spring Summer 18, and just had it the same sort of design as the hoodie, just put it on a shirt like that. Moving on to pants, I don't really have a favourite, I'll be honest. Yeah, there wasn't really anything that stood out for me that I was like a massive fan of, so unfortunately I don't really have anything for pants. On the side of shorts, fortunately there aren't a ton. The main thing that I was just liked was the flower velour short and then the Ganesh waffle short, and that's that. Moving on to t-shirts, there obviously aren't a ton of them, but we can go through a couple that I do like. Obviously we have the tee that I was a bit, you know, off the mark with, which is the Mary J. Blige tee. Yeah, I do like the piece. Obviously I've literally only listened to probably 2 of her songs in my life, so I do not have the greatest of, you know, information about anything to do with her, but yeah, I do like the piece. It gives me the Madonna vibe, so I will probably be going for it and just storing it away. Next up we have the Queen tee. I was just a fan of the sort of 8-bit text to it and then just the graphic in general. I think it's a really nice tee. I don't think a lot of people like it, to be honest, but I do think that it's a nice piece. We then have the Levitation tee, which unfortunately is another steal. Not in the sense of it's going to be a good price, but in the sense that Supreme have taken the original graphic and just slapped their one on it. Just for the little proof sort of thing, this is the original, and that's Supreme's, so yeah. but they probably have the rights or the licensing to use it, I'd hope, or else they'll get a cease and desist, which might make like the piece's price go up. Obviously on the side of the hoodie, this is the graphic, this is the hoodie, and yeah, it's very blatant. The next one is obviously the smoke tee. I really do like this piece. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be going for it in the black colourway or what colourway I might try and pick it up in, but I do think it is a nice piece and it's very different from what Supreme have released before. So yeah, that is probably why it might go in an averagely fast time. The last one is going to be the banner tee. I saw people were massive fans of this, so yeah. It just reminds me also of the like somebody tried to sell on Facebook a picture of the Supreme sign that they had stolen, and then they like, you know, put it on a tee and tried to sell it like that, and that just reminds me of that. So for that reason I might go for it, but I don't know, it just seems like almost like a novelty sort of thing to pick up a tee with a picture of the banner on it, but I don't know. Okay, so now we are on to hats. Or the hats section in general is a very difficult one to go through because there are a lot of items that people prefer and others prefer and have different opinions on. But for this I have 5 pieces that I've picked out, and yeah, one of them that I did also like was the S Logo 6 panel, but that's not on this list, but obviously I just wanted to say that I did like that piece. So to start things off, we're going to kick off with a beanie, which is going to be again another Martin Wong piece. This looks to me like it's embroidered, and if it is, that'll be great. I think this will be a nice beanie to possibly pick up for the winter time. Another one is going to be another beanie, which is the New Era Championship beanie. Personally, I just think it looks really cool, and the little embroidered patches and things really do highlight on it. They're using this whole arc theme quite a lot this season, so hopefully it goes down quite well. But yeah, I think this beanie looks quite cool, especially in the camo colorway. Next up, obviously, is going to be another beanie, which is going to be the New Era box logo beanie. I am 100% going to be going for one of these. Doesn't matter which colorway. I'd obviously like to try to color coordinate, you know, like I did with Fall Winter 18 and have like the pine green box logo with the pine green beanie, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It'd be cool to just try to do something like that though. But yeah, definitely a massive fan. I have 2 from the Fall Winter 18 and 1 from Fall Winter 17. So yeah, I'm a fan of them and I'd like to keep adding them to my collection. Next up, we have the Afternoon Camp Cap. I really do like the graphic to this piece, and yeah, there's not much else to say. It gives me a very like LeBain vibe sort of thing. And that is why I do like this piece. Lastly, I'm picking the Tribal Camo Balaclava. I'm a fan of the whole tribal theme that they've got going on, and especially in the very bright colorway. I think it looks really cool, and yeah, it's definitely a nice piece. Next, we're going to move on to bags. There's not really much to say. Personally, for me, I think that the whole camo colorway across all of the bags is the sort of best look. I'm not a massive fan of these patchwork pieces, mainly because of the fact that their price will probably be through the roof, and yeah, it just doesn't really do anything for me. But personally, I feel like the woodland colorway across all of the bags looks nice. Now we move on to accessories. Now obviously the standard thing to say is the Honda CRF 250R from this section, or the burner phone, or the flute set. However, I have a different sort of mindset of items that I personally think are the better ones from this, and just in my view really do like sort of resonate with me as pieces that I like. We're going to kick things off with the Voodoo Doll. Yeah, I know it's a little bit odd or whatever, but I feel that this is just a really cool piece. You have No Love, Go Broke, Eternal Pain, Locked Up, Haunted, and yeah, I personally just feel like it's just a really cool piece. Obviously the pins are included, so you should be able to just switch things around, of which I will probably have that one there. But yeah, personally I just really think it's cool, and I'd like to keep it as a sort of show piece, I guess you could say, almost like the Undercover bear. Or like the Pillow Bear. I just think that's cool as well. So yeah, this is one of those, and I'll 100% be going for it. Next up, we've got the Butterfly Table Tennis Racket Set. I'm a table tennis fan or ping pong fan, so yeah, this is something that I'll definitely be going for. And I just think it's cool to release something a bit different along the lines of a table tennis set. They've obviously in the past released the tennis balls, so they're moving into different sort of sports and things, and yeah, I think this is really cool. Next up, we have the Hanging Lantern. Personally, for me, this is just a really cool piece. I would really want to get 2 of these to have like as a backdrop to like sit one and the other sort of thing, because personally, I think they're just nice, and they're definitely going to be a highlight for me from the accessories tab. Next up, we have the post-stick flags, sort of like the band-aids. This is just another cool piece that I think will be like cheap, or will be cheap, and yeah, it's just cool to have. You can obviously use them or store it or whatever you want to do, but you have 100 of them to use, so there's no shortage in the end. As a bit of an odd one, I've picked out the Hanes socks just because of the fact that they've changed the colorway. That's the only purpose why this is here, but yeah, I think changing the colorway to red is really cool. Gives a sort of Christmas vibe as well, so yeah. For the last two items, I've picked out the Subota Pearl Hard Edge Lighter. It looks 100 times better than the Zippo lighter in my view. I definitely think that the sort of green colorway, or just the sort of see-through natural looking color, is like are the two best colours out of it, but then again, the others look nice. It's all nice across the board, so yeah, we'll just have to see what they cost. So that was obviously accessories. Now we're on to skate. To be honest, for me, there are probably only 3 out of here that I'd pick as nice, maybe 4. For me, it's going to be the Banner skateboard, the Smoke skateboard, and between the Delta skateboard and the Supreme is Love skateboard. For me, I really like all of the different colours across the Delta logo skateboard, and on the piece it also says copyright 2019, which I am a fan of, but yeah, that is one of them. Then we have the Supreme is Love skateboard deck. I do like it, but I don't know if it's one of those pieces for me. It reminds me of the Marvin Gaye sort of piece in how that's sort of set out, and yeah. The Banner skateboard I think is cool because it does give me the sort of F1 or race car skateboard that was released quite a couple of years ago. And I think that it's going to be a cool piece that people definitely want. For the last one, it's going to be the Smoke skateboard, but I don't really know how I feel about this. On a T, I think it looks cool, but on this, it is not as legible compared to the T. But at the same time, people might be going for it in like all of the colorways to have it as a set, because they do look quite decent. So that is going to cover the best items from the lookbook, or the lookbook's best items, or previews best items. Let me know down below what you think about my sort of choices, or any other items that you would add in or take out, or what you would do. And yeah, apart from that, I failed at signing up for Supreme, so what can you do at the end of the day? I did try to sign up, but it had the whole processing and it didn't go through, so that is that, really, in the end. So let me know down below if you were able to sign up or whether you had the same issue as well. And apart from that, I will see you tomorrow for a drop list video. As always, links to the Discord, links to Instagram and everything are down below. And yeah, I should be posting on Instagram today, hopefully. But yeah, I need to try and be active on that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.